attached to the mothership, which is Augusta.
Augusta.
Yeah, Charlie Norwood. So sometimes people will say, well, I want to get my care in Atlanta. And I'm like, well, I can't help you. So Atlanta services won't come out this far. But we work with, in conjunction with the state of Georgia, it's a Section 8 housing voucher that any citizen can have. It just might take them 5 years to get it. Right? So the state of Georgia will say, here, Athens, we've done a population study. You get 79 vouchers that you can give to any veteran as long as they meet our income requirements. So that the income requirements are set by the state of Georgia. And then we determine whether or not it's a veteran who qualifies. And they've loosened up a lot of the qualifications. Used to, you had to have some kind of certain discharge type. Now we accept anybody that as long as it's not a dishonorable discharge, which really that's like felonious kind of terrible murder, rape stuff, you know. But even if you have a bad conduct discharge, if you have other than honorable discharge, all of the other discharges, we will we'll see about getting you housed best we can. So the housing belongs to the community, though. I mean, you might own 5 rental properties, and one of our housing specialists might come to you and say, hey, you interested in taking Section 8 vouchers that we have for the veterans? We let property owners know that it's not just a housing voucher. This comes with case management. We are going to show up and say, hey, how's it going? Like, working on our budget. You know, did you pay your rent today? Or, you know, that just kind of, because, you know, people are homeless for these are grown-ups who are homeless. So this doesn't happen on accident. You know, this is lots of different situations. It could be substance use, mental health, you know, you name it. And we want to be able to provide services for those people to help them get where they need to be so they can live in dignity. You know, when you're living in dignity and you feel good about yourself and you're kind of, you know, no longer going from curb to curb and that kind of thing. Maybe you've kicked an addiction and you're getting some support. You start to feel good about yourself, and we want that to snowball into success, you know, to where one day you don't even need us anymore, right? Maybe we got you right with your VA benefits, and you're now 100% service connected, and you make too much money, right? So that is.
So I can't get no voucher.
Yeah, if you're 100% service connected, you make too much money.
That's right.
I'll tell you though, it used to be I mean, there's no way possible for you, but now here since COVID, and the rent has gone just crazy here in Athens, really all over the country. But Athens is one of the few spots where we have vouchers, and now we're quickly closing that gap. But for the longest time, the whole 3 years I've been on this program, I couldn't fill more than 48 or so vouchers. I would have, you know, between like 19, 20 vouchers that I could get you one, but you're not going to find a place to live because nobody would take them. The community was like, okay, wait a minute now, you know, the rent around here is about $850 over in Jockey Club, but now my buddy got the same unit I got, and he's getting $1,650. Well, Department of Community Affairs is not doing that big jump. Like, Department of Community Affairs will come in, do the inspection, and say, hey, we'll pay you $900. But my buddy next door is getting $1,650. Now y'all bye. So we're going to clean it up, and you know, a lot of people call that gentrification. You know, I don't know. Maybe it's market. I don't know, but it's awful. Really, it's hard. It makes our job very hard. Luckily, we have gotten some community partners to step up. We had a recent partner come aboard in Statham. Right, and the whole apartment complex. I want all you veterans. Bring them on. And so shout out to Villages in Statham. And we have filled that place up. And now we're in the 70s in our vouchers. We got enough people in line bringing us the documents needed and all that to get our applications in that we're going to get to 79 this month. So I'm pretty excited about that.
So what would a vet have to do to get into this program?
Well, if you could get, you know, it's a simple Google search. any homeless partner out here, Sparrow's Nest, Bigger Vision, you know, some of the homeless services, not necessarily homeless shelters even, but say, hey, I'm a veteran and I'm homeless. They'll give you the number to call. Yeah, if you got a phone, it's you just homeless veteran services, and you'll get a phone number, and you end up calling a hotline, right? Mm-hmm. And when you call the hotline, you tell them where you are and what's going on, and I'm the guy who answers all hotline calls for the Augusta area. So anytime there's a hotline call, it gets say he does a triage on it. What's your name? Okay, well, let's put it in the Augusta queue. Mm-hmm. I'll get an email and it says, hey, you got a hotline call. And I'll pull it up and I'll say, oh, this veteran right here. I'll look up their chart and I'll, you know, see what kind of, maybe they got a service connection, just tells me a little bit about income, right? Mm-hmm. And if you got income, that's good, because a lot of property owners like, no income. And I don't know what happens if something happens with the voucher, you know. So it's good to have income, but again, it's not necessary. It's just easier to find a place if you got income. So, but then I'll field the hotline call. I'll determine whether or not you're eligible for services, and if not, I've got resources for you to contact in case you're a couple of months behind on the rent or your light bill or something. And we've got some agencies that can step in and help with that.
Go ahead. You said you had a question for.
No, this one got a little too interesting. I didn't realize that about the vouchers where you had the veterans. I got a couple people in mind that I'm going to shoot your number to.
By all means, if you guys know anybody.
I didn't know that. I really didn't know that.
I'll give you my cell phone number, 706-504-3508.
Say it one more time.
706-504-3508. That is my VA cell phone number. I answer it. Don't call me after 5 o'clock.
Right.
And on the weekends, don't call me. Truth is, I'm probably going to answer it, but don't call me because my wife get mad at me.
Well, and that's being a vet. You hear I came from Atlanta. I got out of the military in Atlanta, and it took a minute for me to, you know, start getting services. But once I got services, being in Atlanta is a big pond of a lot of people, and to me, I made this statement. Well, when we first started back up, I said that America don't care about women, kids, and the elderly. Well, I feel there's another category of people that America don't care about, and that's veterans. Yeah, Monday they gonna give us some free food to eat, and NFL is gonna broadcast from a big ship, and they gonna do all of that. But what a lot of people fail to realize is the military is paying the NFL for this advertisement. Mm-hmm. So they're not doing it out the kindness of their heart. Mm-hmm. And one of my biggest pet peeves is I got an issue, but I can't get seen for 6 months. Mm-hmm. That to me, now that was in that big pond in Atlanta.
Still the same way.
Well, I don't want to cut you off or anything.
Okay.
But I'm just going to say they've done a better job at trying to address this. Okay, mm-hmm. And that is through the continuity of community care. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes.
So I am a 100% service connected veteran, right? So mm-hmm. I get free dental service. Mm-hmm. So I call up Augusta and they're like, all right, well, you can see you in February. I'm like, February? My tooth about to fall out. And I'm like, oh, and I tell them I'm in Athens. They go, oh, well, how about a community care appointment? So, okay, yeah, and I get that in like 3 weeks.
Yes.
You know, so they've done a really good job of connecting veterans to where, you know, you don't have to drive all the way to Atlanta. You don't have to, they'll connect you with somebody in the community. Like I just had elbow surgery, actually, all done at Piedmont. Well, I didn't have to go to
Well, the best thing that I did for myself was once I realized that I was back in Athens because my mental health brought me here. But I was partly ashamed, partly going through my battles, and my goal was I was never staying here. I was trying to get back to Atlanta. But once I realized that I was going to be here and this was the best place for me, I got my services switched from Atlanta to Augusta/Athens.
Yeah.
And it was a little better. I guess because it's a smaller pond to deal with. And so things sped up a little. But my major beef with that whole time was I had a mental health crisis in August. And I went there, let them know. They did an evaluation. This was all out of Atlanta. And September the 30th, 2021, I tried to commit suicide. Even after that, went back and let them know that I had did this. I never seen a therapist or talked to a therapist until the following February.
I would like to think, matter of fact, pretty like 100% sure that would not happen here.
Now, like I say, this was dealing with the Atlanta version.
Right.
Now,
it's a big operation down there.
Yes. And once I swallowed my pride, realized I'm here, and switched my services over to Athens. And once I started talking to them, it was a lot less time, and I was able to get a therapist, and that I won't allow to quit me. But that is probably my biggest beef, and the reason why I say America don't care about veterans, because there's not enough facilities. There's not enough people in these facilities. I don't think I should go to the clinic in Athens and can't get an x-ray done. Or I can't go to the clinic in Athens and get a COVID test done. And to me, that to me is a disservice to the veterans.
I would not disagree at all, for sure. And you know, you when you are in Atlanta, you are getting like big box stuff, right? It's big, and,
Yes.
and of course here it's more personal.
Yes.
You might run into one of your providers out here
Yes.
amongst your community, you know. So it's a community-based outsource or CBOC, community-based out space clinic or whatever. It's away from the main hospital. So I will say now, got some good news for you.
Okay.
All right. The VA has made a move here in Athens to open up a second location. Right. I don't want to really.
Let's clap that up, because that is huge.
Yes.
That is a huge thing.
That's you know, that's really all I'm probably safe to kind of speak on right now. But it's coming, right?
Okay.
And it's gonna have PT, X-ray, you know, things like that. So basically, it's a service much more accessible on the bus line and all that. And that building that they've purchased or renting, actually they're going to rent the building, and they're renting the one out on whatever. So it already has that stuff in there for them to do it.
Okay.
And so I did a walkthrough on there last week just to see about office space and who was going where and all that. So it started out as we just want this portion of the building for mental health, right? Well, then the whole building became available, and now the director said, hey, well, what about moving some services over here for this, and maybe just do the top floor mental health, and you know, so So they're moving.
Okay.
They're moving on it, but it's the federal government, so
Absolutely. Hurry up and
everybody take a deep breath and
hurry up and wait.
be patient.
Yes.
So
Can you shout out that number one more time?
yeah, 706-504-2458, and that's my VA cell number.
Okay.
Hey, Denny, I got a question.
Yeah.
Rick had shared some of his frustration, which was staffing facilities. I just got a personal question. Do the government, if they set limits on what they can do in a month, and the reason why they rationing people out, you know what I'm saying, certain to, like, you can't get no service for like 3 months or 6 months down the line?
It's basically what he said.
Yeah, it's not ration. It's just availability.
Yeah,
like
they don't have enough people.
right, providers. You're a let's say you're a orthopedic surgeon, right? Those people are in super high demand, and the VA's not going to pay you what Piedmont's paying you.
Yeah, right.
Not paying you what you can make in private practice.
Yeah.
And so, which is why, I believe it was the Obama administration is the one that kind of like, hey, these waits are too long. Let's get these people out here into the community and get them taken care of, so they don't want to have to, so they don't have to wait in these long lines and all that. And every administration since has kind of put their little rubber stamp on it, and beefed it up. It's good politics, to say that we're supporting veterans and making sure they can get their care done locally. So, so that's good. But we're, as veterans, we're like, you give me a 3-day-old bologna sandwich, and I'm like, oh wow, look at it, we got meat today. So but everybody else might look at that and be like, what the heck, man, that stinks, and which speaks to the recruiting issue, So I'm watching how my country is taking care of my dad. I'm watching how my country's taking care of my cousin and my uncle. Like, why are you asking me to go do this? I'm seeing that they're not getting taken care of.
Right.
So, I will say that I think the head of the VA, the people up at the very top, I think they see that. I think they're addressing it. I used to really have a bad opinion of it myself as a veteran in the VA, but then I started working in the VA, kind of seeing from the inside out, and the people who work at the VA really care, man. They really do. And and the truth is, like, a lot of the stuff that some of the poor customer service maybe that you're experiencing, these are veterans, dude. These veterans are treating veterans like this, And so it has gotten better. I work with a wonderful team. I know even the civilians on my team who have never served are super passionate about getting veterans off the street and getting them the care they deserve, connecting them with benefits, disability. A lot of guys. One of the best, what makes me feel better than anything in this world, is when I connect a veteran to VA disability benefits, and they go from really nothing, right, to $2,000, $3,000 a month. And now they can afford a home even. Thank you for the housing voucher, but I saved up enough money to go buy my own home.
Right.
Because, through the VA home loan, you don't have to have a down payment.
Right.
So yeah, that is.
My wife that.
Don't
No down payment.
Don't say that to me. Kind of.
Yeah, I retired, man. I didn't connect with the VA for about 2 years. And my wife came home one day and she's like, what do you know about this thing, VA disability? I'm like, I don't know nothing about VA disability. Why are you asking? Well, so-and-so says her husband this and that, and I'm like, well, I ain't disabled. And I talked to a veteran about that. It's like, well, Denny, you are. Yes, you are. And what I have found out is the longer you serve, the more likely it is that you are owed some compensation.
Yes.
Okay.
And really, they shouldn't call it disability, right? Because I work 3 full-time jobs, man, and it's not illegal. Like, it's not Social Security.
Yes.
A lot of veterans, man, there's a misguided thought out there that it's so similar to Social Security disability. And Social Security disability is there because you can't work.
Yeah.
Right.
And VA, it's really compensation, and I don't like the word disability. They look at your medical record, they do an evaluation, and they go, wow, your shoulders all jacked up, your legs messed up, you got PTSD based on where we sent you. Here's your service-connected disability rating, bam, and now you're getting tax-free money for the rest of your life. Does not suck. Right? A lot of people don't know that when you're 100% service-connected, there's like $125,000 that comes off of your property taxed value.
No property tax.
So you pay a property tax, but if let's say you got a $525,000 house, right? You're only going to pay taxes on $400,000, right? And so also your kids come on. You can keep your kids on your disability plan while they're in college if you want to, or you can take them off of your disability plan. They file for Chapter 31 benefits based on the fact that they have a parent with and they get $1,500 a month to go to school.
Well, see, we need to talk about that. So in a few minutes, we need to have that conversation because, like I say, my son is getting ready to graduate high school. And I'm trying to.
I got you.
Yes, you're gonna be good.
$1,500 a month, man.
One thing I noticed, just listening to you guys talk about, how long it was taking and everything. I think, for me, I was service connected, which it says on my DD-214, right? So when I went to Atlanta, I didn't have no issues about appointments. I didn't have to wait long. So I guess my question to you is that if you're service connected, because that's the difference between being service connected, so now you're 100%, it's totally different. Service connected means like they say, okay, well, we know we owe you from day one, so as soon as you get out, we're going to pay you. So I think that's the reason why, like, when I make my appointments or they do this, that, and the other, it's like, okay, 2-3 weeks out. And I never had a problem because at one point I wanted to transfer my stuff to Athens because I stayed in Athens. But the people up there in Claremont said, no, don't do that. You good right here. Stay right here. You in the system. If you want to wait longer, then it doesn't matter how much smaller that place is. You need to stay right here.
I mean, see, like I said, once you're good, I wouldn't move. But like I say, for me, because I guess, just coming in and, that you just one of the numbers.
It really boils down to whether you want to drive to Atlanta or Augusta. There are things that Athens can't do. And if they also can't find you a community service provider, which I don't understand why they wouldn't be able to, but then you just have to drive over to Charlie Norwood. And to me, because I went Atlanta first, and I did that for a while, and then I went to Augusta. I was like, "This is booked." So I'm driving to Augusta.
It's an easier drive.
Easier drive. It's just not the traffic in there, man. Anyway, but no, service connected disability. There are percentages, right? You can be 0% disconnected disability, and of course, a lot of people ask, you have 0% service connected disability for your ankle. What good's that do you? Well, it means that the VA will see me for my ankle. They won't see me for anything else, but they will see me for that thing. Once you get to 100% P&T, which is permanent and total, then you're in for everything: dental, vision, all that, every single thing, head to toe. So that is a good thing, and I want to thank you for being vulnerable and sharing that crisis that you went through. 21?
21, yes.
Yeah. And it made me think, I want to put this number out there for veterans as well, and really for the community, right? So 988 is the crisis number. And you push 1 if you're a veteran, and they will connect you to the Veterans Crisis Line, right? So 988 for the community, 988 for veterans, but when they pick up, if you're a veteran, push 1, and they will connect you with the Veterans Crisis Line.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? I mean, because, well, I do have one question.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Marines, right?
Yep.
I can't stop thinking about one of my favorite movies me and my sister always watching. I'm pretty sure that's Full Metal Jacket.
That's the movie. Man, I'm so glad I didn't see that movie before I joined.
That's what I was going to ask you, because like for us, the Marines was out of the question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Period. Because, but the movie was so real.
Yeah.
And, you know, once it kept going and once they went over to war and all that stuff like that, it's like, is this what the Marines have to go through? And so I guess my question to you is like, did you see that movie before you decided to go to
No, I did not. No, I did not. And, you know, fun fact, I actually processed for the Army. And I was going to be a tank guy. Right, and I got, because they threw that whole GI Bill. How about the Army College Fund, right? And so that was a lot of extra money.
Yes.
And I just kind of like I was sitting on the fence with it, and then I got the MEPS, and all my folks I met at the MEPS, I'm Marine Corps, baby, yeah, Marine Corps, 13 weeks, you know, where'd you join? I was like, Army. And it's silly, man. You know how you got me in Army.
Oh yeah.
It's silly.
Yeah.
And so I flipped, man. I saw my recruiter's boss, because my recruiter was a jerk. He didn't know what he was doing. But I saw his boss at the MEP station. He's like, oh, Sergeant Fowler. I'll never forget that jerk's name. He talked you into joining. And I said, no, he talked me into joining. I'm here for the Army. And he looked at me. He said, I can't talk to you here. We're going to be up at Chili's for lunch, though. Be real nice if you ate lunch at Chili's, you know. So I did. I met him up at Chili's, and they just sold me, dude. They told me just, you know, talking all about this diversified options, and which is a fancy word for open contract, and intangibles, and you know, this, that, and the other. And so it just got to the point where, like, just to get these guys to shut up, I guess I'm going to do this, man. I'm going to join the Marine Corps. And so I did, but they told me, they were preparing me. And I didn't know all this until I became a recruiter. Then, like, what they did was some felonious stuff, man. It was bad against the rules, real bad. And they were like, this major, he's going to call you in his office, and he is going to really rip you up one down the other. You can't break. It has to be that this is what I want. No one talked me into it. This is what I want. He said, now, if you don't think you can do that, join the Army. Great organization. Stick with them, but do not break. If you think you can't do this, like, and he's all he can do is yell at you a little bit, and he probably won't. But he did. He yelled at me, man. Like, I know that. Screaming at me about changing my mind and who'd you talk to, and all that. And I just stuck with it, and ended up at, you know, Paris Island at midnight getting screamed at. This big dude come on the bus, man. He's like, oh, on behalf of the Sergeant Major, Depot Sergeant Major, Commanding Officer, want to welcome you to Paris Island. Now get on off my bus. I was like, all right, cool, chill. We all get off. Like, oh my God, this guy's gonna beat me. You know, I really thought we were gonna get hit. Yeah. We were gonna get kicked and beaten, and none of that happened. No. Right? And they really didn't even start cussing at us until we dropped a few people. After about second phase, he realized who was going to stick around and who wasn't. Then they kind of talked to us like, you know, like we were their children, and we were in a lot of ways. But yeah, it was a great experience. My senior drill instructor, Staff Sergeant Wilson, big dude, man. He bodybuilder, just big dude. Short but huge. And I was one of my career things was when I left Hawaii to come here. I was probably about a week before I left. I went to the change of command for the. We got a new depot sergeant major, and I knew the outgoing sergeant major, so I went to the ceremony. And dang, if the incoming sergeant major wasn't my senior drill instructor, and he remembered me, man. It was great.
Oh yeah.
So that was really good. So enjoyed that. Enjoyed all of it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've definitely had some great, like I say, boot camp. For me in boot camp, after the second, third week, once my drill, RDCs, what as we call them,
RParks.
Yeah. Once they didn't have to stay in the house with us, everything changed. Now we can start relaxing a little bit.
Y'all was chilling, man.
Well, I went in 96, 96. So that was a completely different military from when y'all went in. Because I think then we had the card. Did we hit? No, the card came after me, but it was just certain things.
Man, they had eyeballs on us 24/7, man.
No, shoot, man.
I think after that second week, they was out of there.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, that's wild.
Man, I'm talking about gone. Yeah, we was chill. It was so chill till they'll come in the morning, do us, beat us and everything, whatever. But by 7 o'clock, they gone.
They gone.
And then I was the master at arms, so I ran the house and I ran the house and as long as we got everything done.
Yeah.
Man, I was sending people to the store.
Oh, no, man. None of that happened.
Oh, yeah.
None of that's happened.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't have no stores now. Not in 91.
Well, see, like I say, because that's 96 and when you went to
I went to Great Lakes.
You went to Great Mistakes too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but yeah, man.
So that's why I'm trying to talk my son, and he's thinking about joining to man, go to the Air Force, dude. 6 weeks, patio time, cell phone. Come on, man. You don't have to do what I did. And he's like, nah, Marine Corps is the hardest. That's what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. No, you're being hard-headed. They all pay the same, bro.
Yes. And you can get the same job.
That's it, man. Just go where opportunity is, So, yeah, I have a deep respect for anybody who raises their right hand and signs up,
Oh, yeah. And I tell the kids now, if you don't have a reason to get out, stay.
I think I shared that my boss said to me, if I wouldn't have got out, I'd be retired by now. Mm-hmm. As a young man in the first 4 years, and it was awful, you're basically a highly trained toilet scrubber, floor scrubber and all that. But what kept me in, really, I enjoyed the Marines and all, but, you get with a lot of people who are just like, I'm getting out. They pour mouth, and it's easy to kind of get into that mode. But every veteran I talked to out in the community and when I'd come home to visit, if I talked to anybody who was old enough to be retired, every 100% of them, like, man, I wish I'd stayed in. I'd be retired by now. Mm-hmm. And I thought, man, got to be something to this.
Yeah.
There's got to be something to this. And things would go wrong. And I had this one master sergeant, man, he's a great guy. He used to say, don't get pissed, re-enlist. Like, stay in, make a difference.
Well, see, that, and I got pissed off because the military promised me something. If you do X, Y, and Z, we going to make sure we give you. And so I went in and did my X, Y, and Z, and they reneged on what they were supposed to give me, and I'm like, mad.
Yeah.
I got mad and got out. I'm going to show to you.
Yeah.
Well, I just recently got about that hole, but I that's almost the only thing in my life that I really regret is that decision to get out. But I do know that, my life is good now, so there's no regret at this point. But once again, because we gonna get, this is the barbershop. We'll get in here and get to talking and keep going. But I really want to thank you for coming in because I really, the goal of this show is to help the community. And part of my community is being a veteran, is the vets. And I know right up the street here, we got the VFW. And like I say, my therapist, he constantly is trying to figure out ways to help me so I can help try to get information out. And I am so thankful that you were able to come in so that we can get this information out so that so many vets that are homeless, displaced, going through something, we can get them help.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me. I kind of want to not forget to say to any veteran listening, if you have a substance use problem, alcohol, drugs, whatever, we have a place for you in the DOM, in the domiciliary. If they don't have room for you in Augusta, we'll check and see if they got room for you in Alabama. If they don't have room for you in Alabama, we'll check to see if they got room for you somewhere else in our net here. They do a good job. It's a 90-day program. It really is mental health first and then substance use, right? And it can be a great place for veterans to hit the reset button, try and try and get clean.
Yes.
You know, address the root causes of why they're using.
Absolutely.
So we do help a lot of veterans who are in that situation, and they're coming out of the DOM and looking for a place to live, and we try and help them out with that too. So there's a lot of good services out there at the VA. You know, don't let a couple of bad experiences keep you from getting out there and really utilizing the benefit that you earned. This is not any kind of giveaway here. These homeless services, you earn those services
Yes.
while through serving your country, and so there's no shame in it. Get out there and go get the services that you earned.
Absolutely. And once again, before we go, please if I need someone that can call you tomorrow, please give them those numbers and everything again, please.
Yes, my professional VA. Oh, we're not giving out my personal. 706-504-2458. That's 706-504-2458. And if it's about housing, we can do our best to get that worked out. If you got questions about VA benefits, I can point you in the right direction. DOM services for substance use, we can get something going there too.
What's that crisis line again?
Crisis line, if you're struggling and we want you to stay here, you got a lot to offer this world, don't go anywhere, call 988 and then hit extension 1. So 988-1.
Anybody got any more questions or anything?
Yeah, I'd like to really say for what you're doing, Brother Petway, with the 988 stay. I'm glad you put that information out and keep it invested. 988 is the mental health hotline in the United States now. Like 911 is where 988 now is in place. I'm glad to hear that you all are using to partner with it, because that's some of the legwork that I worked on at the PEG lab from the University of Virginia with Dr. Brian Williams and his cohorts. We started 988 and began to push this throughout the country. So
and Georgia, shout out to the state of Georgia, right? They are, that's awesome.
That's
man.
us. The toolkit.
The
We
state
made
of
the toolkit
Georgia
for
is
988.
one of the first states to really push this out and move on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's really huge to hear that y'all are using it and to alert more people about the mental health crisis. And when you ask this service, you're going to get mental health counselors or mental health therapists, people who are working in mental, and you're not going to be criminalized. So people who need these services don't have to be afraid to call and ask, because you don't have to worry that you may get shot because you call 911, because if you call 988, we're not sending the police officers to you. We're sending people in the professional field of mental health in whatever capacity you may need to come and help you and aid you through this crisis or this situation. And if there's something that needs to go further, then we have the context to get 911. But we're looking at stopping the 911 calls because we're losing too many. And one of the situations happened right here in the state of Georgia. I think it was an Air Force veteran up in DeKalb County.
It happened here a few months ago.
Was shot.
Yes.
And his life was taken.
That was a crisis.
And he only needed mental health services. He wasn't it wasn't committing a crime.
Right.
He was crying out for mental health assistance and lost his life due to somebody coming to the aid who wasn't prepared and trained for it. And so that's why it's so important about 988. And I applaud what you're doing, Mr. Petway, in this for us, brother, because veterans need it.
Yes.
And all people do, but we got a mental health crisis. Like you said, it was a crisis, and it could have been avoided if the right call had been made.
Yes. Well, like I said, I want to thank you. I know we tried to get together in September, but the storm and everything. So I am ecstatic that you were able to come in tonight to share some services and some answers, some solutions. To me, that is the most important thing that I can do, we can do in this barbershop, is give solutions to problems or have the right questions to help people find the solution to whatever they're going through. And so I thank you. And anytime you got anything you want to get off, anything that can help the vets, anything that you just, please come. We here Thursday nights from 8 till, and please come and let's get this information out so we can save somebody. I thank you.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me, man. I really enjoyed doing this. So it's really like a ministry to me, to be honest with you. So,
Absolutely.
This really enjoy it.
This is my ministry. This is my ministry. This is getting people and being with my brothers and my wife. That's all I ever want to do. And like I said, I thank you. It's about that time. We're gonna get ready to get up out of here. Life is a series of moments. The past is just that, the past. Be thankful for it. The future is coming. Prepare for it. The present is a gift. Enjoy the journey. Take pictures. Thank God. It's time to sweep the floors, clean the clippers. Larry, Lee took your bathroom last week.
I got you. I got you.
Okay,
I got you.
Larry got the bathroom. You got one for us?
I got one for you.
And before we close, he gonna give you one of them old things. You know what my boy the poet do?
Time to cook.
The shop is closed.
So since we missed suicide prevention, and we've been for those who feel like suicide is the only answer, breathe. Take a deep breath, count to 10. Breathe, and repeat step 1 again. Now, I don't claim to understand your pain, or even pretend that I could make it end, or foolishly suggest that this is just some kind of test that can be passed or failed. My only task is a simple ask. Inhale, exhale. Breathe, and repeat step 1. Those demons that you are facing have a strange way of replacing your thoughts with loss. And the more you keep refusing seems the more you keep on losing ground. Like peace that can't be found, or pain that is somehow bound to your soul. And your only goal is to regain some semblance of control. But no, the pain won't let you go. And every round that you fight is slowly draining you of your life. And the only end in sight has been condemned by those who have never understood your plight, or by people who have never battled a demon all through the night. Yet despite your desire to see the grave, daily you walk this earth being brave. Just waking in the morning is impressive, when the weight of simply living can be so oppressive. And if we are being retrospective, it's been like this for years. The tears have burned tracks into your memory, until the symmetry has been knocked off, like a painting in the hallway tilted at 87 degrees. And that's just enough to keep your mind from being at ease, and for no one else to see. So when the voices come like a plague, and all the answers you give are being vague, remember, breathe, and repeat step 1. See, I too have been in the dark. And like the movie Raiders of the Lost Ark, the demons have come for my soul. And if I could be so bold and tell the truth, I too have walked a mile inside those shoes. But I digress, because this is not about me, it's all about you. And whatever it is that God has got you going through, just know that you are not alone. I'm always here by my phone. So if you would be so kind, take a load off, rest your mind. In me, you will always find that in my schedule, there will be time. And for those of whom that I do not know, in order for you to heal and grow, find someone who can fill this role. But remember, breathe, and repeat step 1. Know that I'm not here to judge, and when life has got you stuck in the mud, and you feel that you are drowning in the waters of the oncoming flood, even if you do decide that you can no longer survive, you will only find me with you, standing by your side,
not asking why. For who am I to pry into what it is that you are going through inside? Not even my foolish pride could start to tell that lie, nor reply to the call that is unilateral, or think of the damage that will be more than collateral. And though you think it may be admirable, the truth be told, my motives are quite selfish. My reasons are my own, but trust me, they're not devilish. Simply put, you by yourself, you don't get to go through this. So please, I'm asking, go get some help. And from here, there won't be no stopping. But remember, breathe. Repeat step 1, because suicide is not your only option.
Thank you, Kat.